is Pronouns ASMR, and my pronouns are pro and noun. And it looks to me like you are in a ketamine K-hole. I have been in my fair share of K-holes, and I want you to know that what you are feeling right now is going to end at some point. Ketamine has a very long life in the body. Even if you aren't tripping right now, the effects can last for hours. And from what I understand, you want to get some sleep. That's okay, I want to get some sleep too, and I want you to get some sleep. So we're going to help ourselves relax together. First thing I wanted to check on is, how is your stomach feeling? Do you feel like you need to vomit? If you do feel like you need to vomit, I want to encourage you to vomit. You don't need to hold it in. You're not doing yourself any favors. Ketamine is very, very hard on the stomach. What I do when I need to vomit on ketamine is I crouch over the bowl and I cough and cough until the gag reflex triggers and I vomit. And instantly after I vomit, I always feel just a little bit better. And it might seem weird to vomit, but let's say your stomach is not in a place where you need to vomit, but maybe it just feels funny. I would encourage you to eat some of your safe foods that always make you feel like you can digest them and give yourself something to eat. Now, I know when you're on ketamine, your taste buds don't quite work the same way. You don't really enjoy food as much as you usually do. So, I would keep it quite simple. For me, what always works best is eating dairy. So, I have a little bit of cheese. I have a little bit of milk. I have a little bit of yogurt. Something simple, maybe with probiotics in it, just to help your digestion. And if you can make your stomach feel like there's a little bit more weight in it and a little bit more for you to digest, you might wait an hour or so and you might even sleep better. Okay. Have you drinking any alcohol this evening? If you have, it might be a good idea not to drink alcohol for the rest of the evening. Alcohol tends to be really bad for our stomachs when we're on ketamine. I guess now that we've gotten our stomach stuff out of the way, I want to encourage you to come back into your body and remember how it feels to embody yourself. You are no longer in the K-hole. You are back in the material world. Remember that you are a person who has a name. You are a person who has an address. You are a person who has favorite colors, favorite movies, and a reason why you took ketamine today and got yourself into a K-hole. I know it must have felt like a lot of time has passed since you got into the K-hole and then came out of it. But I can assure you, even though it must have felt like several lifetimes, it's really only been a few minutes. So you can put yourself at ease knowing that you did everything you needed to do today, knowing that at about a few minutes ago, you were going to go into a K-hole. Maybe you ate dinner. Maybe you got your work done at work for the day. Maybe you took the dog out if you have a dog. Or maybe you worked on your creative projects. Or talked to your family. But just so you know, you did this K-hole in the privacy of a safe place where you felt comfortable doing ketamine, and this is still a safe place. This is still a place where you can relax as you let your body come back to its natural state. I want you to feel the pleasure of your extremities. I want you to feel the blood flowing back to your fingers. I want you to feel the blood flowing back to your toes, to your legs, to your shoulders, to your hair follicles. You can even feel the blood flowing back to your private parts. If you feel like you want to masturbate, that's a normal feeling. There's really no way better to get in touch with your body than doing something like that. But if that's not the vibe you're feeling right now, that's totally fine and also normal. Just remember, the experience you have gone through, as intense as it may have sounded, is quite normal. Hundreds of thousands of people have tripped on ketamine before you, and hundreds of thousands of people will trip on ketamine afterwards. In this respect, you are not so significant, but in every other respect, you are supremely significant. I want you to make sure to remember that you have a high opinion of yourself. I want you to make sure that you remember that you wouldn't do these drugs unless you had a good reason to do them. It's okay if you're hiding these drugs from people. You need to do what you have to do in order to promote your own healing. And if you're feeling regret about the feelings you're feeling after doing these drugs, that regret is okay. You can make that regret actionable. Now, let me ask, how important are these visuals and experiences on ketamine to you? Okay, I understand. It seems like you've had quite a few experiences with drugs. Ketamine's not your first drug that you've taken. Let me ask, were you prescribed ketamine for medical reasons by a psychiatrist, or are you taking it recreationally? Okay. No judgment here either way. I think that a lot of people say that drugs are uppers or downers. Ketamine is a sideways drug. In some respects, it's very stimulating, and in other respects, it kind of puts you in your place. It kind of reminds yourself that you're going to talk to yourself, that you need to talk to yourself, that there's unsettled business between your past self and your future self. And I want to let you know you're doing great. You're handling it very well. You're in control. And you're making the most of your circumstances. Now, it seems like you want to get to sleep. So, I want to teach you some habits that I practice in order to get to sleep on a nightly basis. So, the first thing I want to walk you through is progressive muscle relaxation. I want you to feel your body as you lie down flat or sit comfortably in your chair or sofa. And I want you to become awareness, call this soft awareness, of all the parts of your body that are feeling feelings right now. Maybe you feel the feet against your shoes, or against the carpet, or against the hard floor, or against your mattress. Draw attention to those feet. Squeeze those feet as tightly as you can and hold 2, 3, 4, and relax 2, 3, 4. Moving up through your body, starting at your calves. You can compress and clench 2, 3, 4, and relax 2, 3, 4. Move all the way up your body in a similar pattern, compressing and clenching and straining for a count of 4, and relaxing for another count of 4. And you will find yourself in a good position where your body is in tune with your mind and you are ready to sleep. The second thing I will encourage you to do in order to sleep is to engage in boxed breathing. Boxed breathing, boxed breathing, boxed breathing, boxed breathing. Boxed breathing. Boxed breathing is when you inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and repeat. You want to try and get 50 reps with boxed breathing. Now, I know some people say that you want to have the out breath twice as long as the in breath. And if you feel like that's something you can manage, That's a great strategy, but I want you to let you know that I have practiced box breathing. I have taught box breathing to others, and it is perfectly suitable for helping you relax. And remember, at this stage, you just want to get back in touch with your body. You want to remember that you have a body-mind. Your body is not separate from your mind. Perhaps your soul is separate from your body, but the body, the mind, and the soul are distinct and also intertwined. So just remember, as you are coming out of this K-hole and you are relaxing and finding yourself and your purpose and your remembrance for coming into this K-hole, your body and your mind are partners in this process. Okay. Now, I want to focus on what, in my opinion, is the most difficult part of coming out of the K-hole, which are the visuals. In standard sleep, when we close our eyes, we see blackness, darkness, nothing discernible. But when we are in or coming out of a K-hole and we close our eyes, we see patterns, neon greens, blues, reds, oranges, shifting shapes, columns, spirals, walls, people, plants, cities, intricate visions. I think the thing that people who don't use ketamine don't understand the most about ketamine is how lucky they are to fall asleep at night and only see darkness. When you're doing ketamine, you don't have that luxury, but it's not over for you. There are things that you can do to mitigate those visuals and make it so that you can still sleep, even though those visuals are happening. So, what I want you to do when you lie down and close your eyes is I want you to shift your vision to a very soft focus. Soft focus. Soft focus. Don't try and look at what is behind your eyelids. Don't try and focus on the shifting shapes that are behind your eyelids. Almost imagine as if your eyelids aren't there. Imagine as if your eyes are moving back behind your eyes, and so you see the roofs of your skull or something totally different. What I want you to do is to think about memories. Think about a happy place you've developed, the color of it, who populates it, the smell of the air, as many sensory details as you can think of for this happy place. And I want you to inhabit the happy place and try and keep imagining different things that comprise the happy place or happy memory. It can be something that exists in real life, in a memory, or is totally fabricated. I'm going to tell you about my happy place. In my happy place, I am on a small planetoid that is covered in green grass, very short grass, like Tacoma grass, the grass of like a soccer field, covered in green grass, and rivers and ponds and small lakes weaving their way through the grass. And in the grass and in the lakes grow these trees with orange-red leaves. And from the trees grow fruits that are kind of a cross between an apple and a grapefruit. So let's call them a grapple. And there's no animal life on these planets. There's just vegetation. And the air is perfumed with the smell of the grapple, that grapefruit apple scent, and the smell of grass, and the smell of fresh water, pure as the snow. And I sit inside a cave overlooking the water and the grapples and the trees and the grass. And the cave is made out of a soft putty, like a glowing gray pink putty with sparkles in it. And it is hard enough for me to stand on, but it is soft enough to give way beneath my feet. And inside this putty cave is a bed with a night lamp that doesn't need electricity, but it's just a lamp that glows like the cave in a soft glow. And I can sit on the mouth of the cave and watch the planetoid, and in the sky I see 2 moons and a distant sun. Although the temperature is warm, it's temperate, I should say. It's like maybe around 70 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe less in the evening, down to around 64 or so. And I can watch the water, I can watch the trees, or I can go climb into the bed inside the cave. And I can pull the covers up and I am safe there, and I am home there. And the more I envision this happy place, the better I feel about myself. So while you see these visions dancing on your eyelids, try to envision that happy place. And remember, this is going to be over soon. You might be watching this awake late at night, thinking about, how am I going to sleep? How am I going to get to sleep? Why am I so awake? Why can't I get to sleep? Those are valid questions to ask. We all want you to get to sleep. But I also want you to know that if you can't get to sleep tonight, it's okay. It's really okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I know that you have survived evenings where you haven't gotten sleep before, and maybe you've been a little tired in the morning, but you still had the energy to go about your day. And as long as you don't redose ketamine in the next day, and as long as you are able to close your eyes and rest and lie down in the darkness and put yourself through the process of resting, then I guarantee you will get to sleep the next night. It might feel hard. It might feel like your whole body is crying out for sleep. But the human body is very resilient. And I think you in particular are very resilient as well. So, hopefully this has given you some ease during your ketamine journey. Whether or not you want to continue doing ketamine is up to you. But I will leave you with this bit of wisdom. By going into a K-hole, you have opened the door in your mind. And the thing about doors is sometimes when they open, they stay open. You might not be able to open that door again. But if you walk into that room that the door leads to, the room will be there. I hope that gives you some peace of mind. Once again, I am Pronouns ASMR, and my pronouns are pro and noun. Best of luck on your journey, friend.